I mean, what it shows is fundamentally is that the Iraqi state is incapable of functioning as a proper state. I've said this many times before. Iraq is more akin to a gangster state. Lots of interest groups who are heavily armed control various ministries, and they are all diametrically opposed to one another. The security forces are not a non-partisan force. They have their loyalties to different factions within the government. And the fact that this could happen in this middle of Baghdad, pretty much right next to the US embassy, by the way, shows how dangerous it is to be a politician in Iraq if you upset the wrong people. I think it's highly likely to be a factor in the attack. I mean, at the end of the day, look, the election process as a whole was catastrophic. We had a 41% turnout, if that, and that places a lot of doubt on the legitimacy of the vote. It doesn't necessarily mean that what votes that did take place were illegitimate, but what it shows is that the Iraqi people themselves have no faith in democracy, and it's in large part thanks to these militias. So the same people who are complaining now, who are upset that the Hashd al-Sha'bi linked political parties didn't get as many seats as they thought they would get, these are the same people that brought Iraq to its knees. These are the same people who completely undermined rule of law and democracy in Iraq. So it's kind of funny in a tragic way that they're now behaving like this, and that they're now trying to kind of upend security in Baghdad simply because they're sore losers and they couldn't mobilize as well as someone like Muqtada Sadr. Sadr himself is a militia leader. So, these are kind of all part and parcel of the same problem in Iraq. Generally, the process of forming governments in Iraq post-2003, it takes a very long time. It could take up to a year or so as the various political parties engage in bartering and horse trading and cut sort of deals between themselves. In 2010, for example, the Iraqi coalition led by Ayad Allawi actually won the election, and they ended up not taking the prime minister's office. And that's purely because the other parties cut deals along with the Americans and the Iranians to ensure that their candidate got through, who was at the time Nouri al-Maliki, the most sectarian prime minister we've probably ever had. So this is something which is kind of repeating itself again. I think it's highly likely that the Iran groups will be involved in the new government, especially as Maliki is now witnessing some kind of a resurgence. Sadr cannot rule alone. He doesn't have enough seats, and he doesn't have enough allies to boost his numbers over the majority. And so therefore, this is probably going to last for quite a long time. And ultimately, when we see theatrics like this and even assassination attempts against the prime minister, it's to generate that political pressure, that force, so that when they go to the negotiating table, they say, look, either you give us what we want, or we're going to put this country into absolute chaos and drown it in blood.